I'm very pleased to be able to speak to Mr. Gerardo Ruiz, the Secretary of the Economy for Mexico, the world's 12th largest economy, and a neighbor of two of the world's other greatest economies in the North American hemisphere. Thank you very much for speaking to us today.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Give us a sense of your job description. What does the Secretary of Economy do for Mexico?
So basically my portfolio covers all the small and medium enterprises development, also everything related to trade agreements, to FTAs, all the relation with all the sectors in the economy and commerce, and as well all the regulatory issues. And on parallel, also we have in the umbrella of the minister, we have the antitrust committee, and we have ProMexico, who is the one in charge of the attraction of investment and promoting the exports for the Mexican goods.
For all of us who follow global trends and the countries that are going to be very important in the next 10, 20 years or so, Mexico would be within that realm of the countries that have to be taken very seriously. However, it's a country with a lot of domestic issues, a lot of issues related to the US economy, and at the same time trying to make sense of the richness of its population, the size of its population, its natural inheritance, and so on. In the last 1 year, Mexico cannot have been said to be doing as well as the other BRIC countries in that sense. Do you often find yourself comparing yourself to the other BRIC countries, and that you need to be viewed as important as the other BRIC countries?
Yes, I think every one of the BRIC countries has a different relation or different situation. For example, in the case of Brazil, Brazil is a very close economy in which less than 20% of their GDP is related to the foreign trade. In Mexico, more than 60% of the GDP is related to the international trading. So in that sense, our biggest customer, of course, is United States. We have 3,000 kilometers of border with United States. And the main products that we produce in Mexico for exports, it's appliances, cars, televisions, things that in the United States the people really start not to buy. So that's why Mexico was affected more than the other countries, other BRICS in terms of economic growth.
Given the fact that the US is your single biggest client, what work have you been putting in place to broaden that base and to make Mexico a stronger counterparty to other economies? And perhaps we can even speak a little bit about Mexico's relationships in APEC. What work is being done on that front?
For example, the first thing that we're doing is really to simplify the way of trading in Mexico, because even though Mexico has access to 2/3 of the GDP of the world, with more than 40 agreements or different kind of agreements with more than 40 countries. The complexity for manage these agreements, it's a restriction for all the medium-sized companies in order to access to the worldwide market. So one of the things that we're doing is really focus in simplify, cut all the regulation that we don't need, make it simple, improve all the transactions through the economy in order to achieve two goals. The first one is to increase and strengthen the internal market, and the second one is the possibility that more companies can access to the foreign trade, to the foreign trading uses all the agreements that we already signed with more than 40 countries.
In addition to simplification of the trade processes, What is the second tier of work that requires to be done in Mexico to make it an attractive investable destination? There's a lot of work being done to deregulate state-owned enterprises, to make them less unionized and so on. Where are you in the work to simplify state-owned enterprises at this point?
So, for example, we, in terms of deregulate the economy, for example, we already put in place a new system in which you can open in the federal requirements a company in less than 2 hours. Then we are going to deregulate everything related for the exports and imports, and that's what's going to be next year, including a lot of the regulations of the sanitary and phytosanitary. In that sense, plus other agreements or free trade agreements or other kind of agreements that we want to sign with many countries in South America. We think that Mexico is the best platform in the world for access 2/3 of the GDP. In one way, we have United States, of course, which is the biggest economy, even though the crisis. But in the other side, we have Central and South America, which is Latin America altogether is a 650 million people market, in which the per capita income is $4,000 average, which is a good platform in order to grow and to start to making grow that part of the world. And that's where Mexico is going to focus, and that's why we are signing yesterday, the day before yesterday, we signed investment security investment agreement with Singapore. We already deal as well for the double taxation agreement. So we are pretty sure that with this kind of tools that we're signing with different countries, Mexico is going to be more attractive for foreign investment in order to create jobs, in order to grow the economy in the way that Mexico deserves.